Alright, hello everyone. It's your good old pal, the Vinsanity here. And I'm going to give you my initial thoughts on the cars in the new expansion. What's this expansion called again? 1 second. League of Explorers, okay. So yeah, just going to give you my initial thoughts on the cars, what I think about them. So yeah, take that how you will. Whatever, it's all good. So let's get into it here. Alright, so the first card we have here, Animated Armor, Mage card. Your hero can only take 1 damage at a time. 4 mana 4/4. I don't see this card being very useful at any point, honestly. I mean, basically, you can basically think of this as like a 4/4 taunt minion. Like, basically your enemy has to kill it if they're trying to deal damage to your face. So, I mean, if you throw this out against like a more aggressive deck, like, let's say Face Hunter or something like that, yeah, I don't think it's going to be a huge deal for them to get rid of. I mean, for 4 mana, why not just throw down Ascension? I mean, that has 5 health. I don't think this card's going to be very good, basically. It's a 4 mana 4/4, and it kind of has pseudo taunt. I don't really think too much else of it. So, yeah, I don't really have a lot to say about that card. Don't really think too highly of it. I think it's a pretty mediocre card. Alright, moving on. Anubisath Sentinel. Death Rattle, give a random friendly minion +3/+3, 5 mana 4/4. Seems like a pretty slow card. In Constructed, I don't see this being played ever. Arena, it seems like it's a decent card. But yeah, Constructed, turn 5, you're not going to want to play a 4/4 with a Death Rattle, give a friendly minion +3/+3. It seems ridiculous. I mean, first of all, you have to hope you have something on the board already. Then you have to hope they aren't able to kill that and kill this. And this only has 4 health. It's not that hard to kill. Yeah, it seems like a pretty bad card for Constructed. For Arena, it seems alright, but I mean, wouldn't be jumped through hoops to get it or anything. Alright, Ancient Shade. Let's see. 4 mana 7/4. Shuffle an Ancient Curse in your deck that deals 7 damage to you when drawn. Okay. So, this is an interesting card. I mean, it seems like it would be fitting for an aggro deck, but I can't really think of what kind of aggro deck you would want to put this in. I mean, you think of the good old classic Face Hunter, they're not going to want a 4 mana card in there. I mean, the upside just isn't good enough to justify including this in your deck. Then, you know, it only has 4 health. 4 health is fairly easily dealt with. Yeah, I mean, the curse it shuffles in your deck, you're not really going to worry about that if you're playing this card. You're going to hopefully kill them before that really has an effect on the game, but yeah, I just can't really see a deck you'll put this in. It seems like you'll want to put this in an aggressive deck, but at the same time, I don't think you can fit this into an aggressive deck because it just isn't aggressive enough. And it's, yeah, I don't know. Like if you're thinking about Face Hunter, like, what are you going to replace for this? Are you going to pull out your Arcane Golems for this? No. Are you going to pull out your Wolf Riders / Argent Horse Riders? No. Yeah, it just seems like a bad card. Really, can't really say much else other than that. An Arena, I guess this would be alright in Arena. It'd be okay. But, yeah, I don't... It's a weird card. I don't see that really seeing any play. Alright, and we have a Paladin card here. 10 mana, Summon 7 Murlocs that died this game. Any fin can happen. Yeah, very cute. Okay. So I have some questions about this. So 7 Murlocs that died this game. So does that mean you have to have 7 Murlocs that have died previously before you can play this? Is that what that means? Does it mean that if you had 1 Murloc die, you could just summon 7 copies of those? Like, it's... I guess I don't really understand how this card is going to work exactly. But it's 10 mana, so I mean, it's pretty much unplayable, so I guess it doesn't really matter. So I'm just going to move on ahead here. 9 mana, 7/8. Archthief, Rapham. Battlecry, discover a powerful artifact. Okay, 1 second. Let me see what these powerful artifacts are. I forgot what they are. Okay, let me look these up here. One of them's like give your minion +10/+10 for 10 mana. One's fill the board with 3 3s. I'm just doing this by memory. And then there's one other one. Which also reminds me that, where is it? That reminds me, I want to discuss the discover mechanic once I find out these artifacts are. What to do? Huh. Oh, there they are. Wait. Yeah, sorry, this is it's kind of not the best setup I have here. My main computer is having issues, so I'm on my laptop right now. It's pretty garbage. Oh, okay. I don't see the artifacts here, but I do actually remember what they all are now. Okay, so, huh? Still going here. Whoa. Oh, okay, there it goes. So yeah, they're all the 3 of the artifacts are 10 mana. One is give your minion +10/+10. Second one is fill your board with 3/3 minions. Third one is deal 10 random damage to all enemies, basically. So it's basically like a ridiculous arcane missiles. Okay, so I mean, basically, the thought is you're going to play this card on turn 9, then turn 10 you're going to have something to follow it up with, like the powerful artifact. And you can choose one based on the situation you're in. So, also, so how the discover mechanic works. So you are, any card that has the discover text on it, discover a card, you're given 3 options of cards you can choose from. It's basically like tracking, you can think of it like that. The difference is that it's not cards from your deck, and also worth mentioning that you are limited to cards that you are able to acquire within your class. So if you're playing this in, say, Paladin, you would, or, well, not this card. Okay, well, if you're playing another discover neutral minion in Paladin, you can discover like a 1-cost minion, then you would be limited to 1-cost minions that are neutral or within the Paladin class. So, alright, I explained that, but this card, 9 mana, 7/8, I mean, the stats are okay-ish, but 9 mana, yeah, that's a heavy investment. I don't know. It seems like there's just better 9 mana cards to play. Yeah, you're going to get follow-up for turn 10 possibly, but I don't think the follow-up cards this gives you are just overwhelming enough to really be worth it. Just seems like a very slow card that would only work if you're playing against another control-ish deck. So yeah, this seems good. I think this just goes in the mediocre bucket here. And I think I've said enough about that piece of garbage card, so let's move on. Brand Bronzebeard. 3 mana 2/4, your battle cries trigger twice. It's a legendary, unfortunately. But man, I like this card. This is where it's at. Like, my good old Millrogue deck. Yeah, I'm definitely throwing this in there. I'm replacing something for this. This is going to be great with Cold Lights. You got this on the board, you play a Cold Light. Instead of drawing 2 cards, everyone's drawing 4 cards. Oh man, yeah, you Cold Light, you Shadow Step, you Cold Light again. Man, the only thing, it almost seems like it's too good because you're going to be overdrawing too. Yeah, man, I like this card. This is a trolley card. That's my kind of card. And then like, man, yeah, something like Mech Mage 2 with, what's that card called? The 5/4 for 4 mana, deals 4 random damage. Goblin Blast Mage, that's what it's called. Oh man, like, I mean, it seems like it. I mean, the thing is, if you were like just playing on curve, it would be turn 2 Mech, turn 3 this, turn 4 Goblin Blast Mage, but you have to hope that Mech sticks on the board that whole time. So, I mean, it's probably not really gonna work. But, I mean, when it does 8 damage randomly for 4 mana and you get a 5/4 on the board, it's nuts. This card has a lot of potential. This is definitely one of the better cards they're releasing. Yeah, I'm definitely going to mess around with this card. It's going to be pretty fun. Good times. Good old Brand Bronzebeard. Alright, let's move on. Alright, got a Warlock card, Curse of Rapham. Give your opponent a cursed card. While they hold it, they take 2 damage on their turn. Okay. Seems like a very slow card. I mean, basically, you could almost think of this as like a permanent hunter hero power that goes off every turn with the initial cost of 2 mana. But then again, the other player can play it at some time to get rid of the effect. I don't know how much it costs them to play that card that they get. I'm guessing it's 2 mana, but I don't know. I'm not sure. But I don't know. It seems like a really slow card. Like, yeah, I guess you have the possibility of messing your opponent's turn up if they're really worried about taking that damage, and they have to get rid of that card. Like, it's Warlock. I mean, there are some more aggressive Warlock decks out there, obviously. Would you want to put this in there for 2 mana? I mean, what would you take away out of your deck? Would you take away, like, Haunted Creeper? I mean, Haunted Creeper is a pretty solid card. You probably want to keep that. We take away the Nerubian Eggs, maybe. I don't know. It doesn't seem like it's worth it. Plus, if you're facing another fast deck, this is just going to slow you down because they're not going to care about their health total. They're just going to be playing their stuff and trying to kill you long before the health they lose from this even stacks up enough to matter. So yeah, this card just seems like garbage to me. In Arena, it would be garbage as well. Probably even more so in Arena because, I mean, this effect isn't really going to matter. Arena's about keeping the board clear and gaining board control, not about dinking off 2 health every turn. Yeah, it's a pretty bad card, I think. Whatever. Can't all be winners. Alright, got a Warrior Weapon, 1 mana 2/3 weapon, Curse Blade, double all damage dealt to your hero. At first when I saw this, I was thinking, oh yeah, that's pretty cool. Then I kind of thought about it for a second and realized how ridiculous this card is. So, it's all damage dealt to your hero. At first I was just thinking damage you take when hitting something with this, but no, it's all damage to your hero. So if you play this turn 1, let's say you play this turn 1 and kill, let's just say you kill a lowly squire, or 1/2. Okay, you take 2 damage off that. Turn 2, they play a frostbolt to your face. You take 6 damage on that frostbolt. Like, this card is ridiculously horrible. Like, why would you ever play this? Warrior has enough good weapons. They don't need a 1 mana. You know what? Okay, if you really want to play a weapon on 1 mana, just play an upgrade card. That gives you a 1/3 weapon. It's better than this. I mean, yeah, it's a 1/3, but why? I mean, why would you? At least you're not taking double damage every time you fucking have the weapon equipped. Jesus, dude. Yeah, this card's horrible. Wow. Okay, let's just not even think about that anymore. All right, 2 mana 2/2 Dark Peddler. Battle cry, discover a 1-cost card. Okay, this is a Warlock one. So the 1-cost cards are going to be either within the Warlock class or a 1-cost neutral minion. Okay, I don't know. 2 mana 2/2. Pretty below average stats. Get a 1-cost card off of it. I mean, what are you hoping to get? A Flame Imp would be awesome if you could get that. A Void Caller, the 1/3 taunt for Warlock would be pretty good. I mean, it seems too slow, and I don't think the effect's good enough. Yeah, I don't think this card's playable. In Arena, I think it would be an okay card, but nothing you would go out of your way to get. Alright, moving on. Alright, a Hunter Trap, another one. So, Dark Trap, 2 mana, of course. When an opposing hero power is used, deal 5 damage to a random enemy. This card, I am not sure what to think of this. This card seems ridiculous to me. So, I mean, now basically Blizzard is saying, okay, you can't even use your hero power safely anymore with this trap. And not only that, it's like worst. I mean, what's the worst case scenario here? Let's say you're running a Face Hunter deck. You play this, and I don't know, they play a 2-drop and they ping your face with their hero power or something. I mean, what's the worst? What's gonna happen? It's either gonna hit their face, the 5 damage, or it's gonna hit that minion and kill it. Like, is either one of those scenarios bad? No, not really. This card, this could be very good. Like, I wouldn't say it would like completely replace explosive traps for Face Hunter, but I could see people like running one of this in their deck, like 2 explosive traps, 1 of this, switching out some other card in a Face Hunter deck. And yeah, mid-range Hunter, this seems pretty decent too. Probably have a decent chance of killing off one of their minions on the cheap. Yeah, it seems like a really good card. I'm kind of surprised they printed this, honestly. But yeah, Hunter's got more options to be annoying. Yeah, right. Good for them, I guess. It be. Okay. Next card. Entomb. A 6 mana priest spell. Choose an enemy minion, shuffle it into your deck. So this is like a better version of Recycle, basically. So instead of just shuffling the minion back into the opponent's deck, it actually, you take that minion off the board and shuffle it into your deck. Okay. So I'm not a big priest player at all, so I don't really know how useful this would be. It doesn't seem like it would be that useful. I mean, priests have a pretty good amount of removal already. This seems like it's kind of unnecessary. I mean, I would be interested to see if, like, people try making some kind of weird, they try to improve upon like a fatigue priest deck or something like that with this card, but I don't know. See, Recycle's a bad card. This seems like a slightly less bad card, but still probably pretty unplayable. Yeah, moving on. Elise Starseeker, 4 mana, 3/5 legendary. Battlecry, shuffle the maps of the Golden Monkey into your deck. Oh yeah. Yeah, this is a hilarious card. So you shuffle the map of the Golden Monkey into your deck. When you draw the map to the Golden Monkey, I don't remember the card cost and everything, but you can play it, and then it shuffles the Golden Monkey into your deck, and when you draw that and you play it, I believe it's a 4 mana 6/6 with taunt, with a battle cry of replace every minion in your hand and your deck with a legendary minion. So it sounds like total and utter garbage. I mean, what else is there to say about it? Like, I mean, what deck would you build to try to make this work? Well, this is ridiculous. It's like just ridiculous thinking about it. So, yeah, first of all, you have to go on this wild goose chase, shuffling all these cards in your deck, hoping you draw them in time. And then when you do, it's like, oh, I just played a 4 mana 6/6, and now my deck is just completely altered. Like, where do you go from there? I mean, this is like the epitome of like randomization and slow playing BS garbage that's never gonna happen. This is so stupid. I'm done with that card. Alright, what is this? The Genie of Zephyrs. 5 mana 4/6. Whenever you cast a spell, another friendly minion casts a copy of it on this one. Yeah, this card seems like garbage. I mean, the stat line's decent for sure. I mean, in Arena, like, most people don't have issues picking a 5 mana 4/6, definitely. I'm not going to trash the stat line too much, but, like, the effect on it, I mean, what is it? Dragonkin Sorcerer, that barely sees any play, and, that gets buffed whenever you cast a spell on it. So, I mean, minions where you cast spells on them, or in this case, cast spells on another minion that give a minion a buff. Like, they're just too... They're not consistent enough, I guess. Yeah. I mean, it's a cool concept, but it's like, how are you going to set this up? Basically, you have to have a board set up already before turn 5. You have to play this on turn 5. And then turn 6, you have to hope you have this still up and something else still up, and you have to be holding a spell in your deck in order to like take advantage of the buff effect on this card. Seems kind of far-fetched. Seems like it's not going to happen. So yeah, I think it's a pretty bad card. Decent for Arena just because of the stat line, but this isn't going to see any constructed play, not by a long shot. Alright, next card. Desert Camel, 3 mana 2/4. Battlecry, put a 1-cost minion from each deck into the battlefield. Okay. This is a very interesting card. I'm trying to think of what kind of decks you would see this in. Like a more aggressive... Oh yeah, also it's a hunter card also. But I'm trying to think. So you wouldn't want this in like a face hunter deck. It seems a little too slow. I mean, 3 mana 2/4 is alright stats, but like pulling a 1 mana card out of your deck isn't the greatest thing in the world. I mean, on the plus side though, you play this, and I mean, if you have this card in your deck, you're gonna have 1 mana minions in your deck, obviously. So you're gonna get a card in play, and there's no guarantee your opponent has a 1 mana minion. I mean, there are quite a few decks that do not really run 1 mana minions, so that's definitely a plus for this card. I could... yeah... I don't know. I guess it's just that there's no decks that are currently out there right now would really use this card. I get, you know, maybe mid-range hunter could try to use it. Like pulling out a web spinner out of your deck's definitely not the worst thing in the world. I don't know. It seems like a pretty good card, but I think a new kind of deck's would have to be created in order to take advantage of it fully. Definitely not bad though. Thins out your deck a little bit. Yeah, I think it's pretty solid, but I guess I'll have to see what happens. See what kind of decks pop out. I can't really picture it. Alright, next card. Eerie Statue, 4 mana 7/7. Neutral minion, can't attack unless it's the only minion in the battlefield. Okay. Apparently being on the battlefield isn't good enough. But yeah, so 4 mana 7/7. So basically it's pretty similar to like a Ancient Watcher, something like that. You know, with the can't attack mechanic going on. So like, I don't know, it seems like a worse Ancient Watcher, because for an extra 2 mana you're getting a +3/+2 in stats. Doesn't seem that great. I mean, I guess the thought behind this is you're gonna want to taunt it up, but at the same time, like I just keep thinking of handlock decks. Like handlock decks, you're gonna be running, you know, your Mountain Giants, your Molten Giants. So I mean, like turn 4, you can just play you can play a Mountain Giant instead of this thing. I think you're gonna want to do that every time over playing this. Why would you play this over a Mountain Giant? I mean, I guess you could make the argument, you know, you're basically adding more Mountain Giant-ish things to your deck, but not quite. Yeah, I don't know. It's a weird card. I don't see it. I don't think it's gonna see any play. I think it's basically a worse Ancient Watcher. Yeah, the difference between 2 mana and 4 mana is pretty big. So, in order for this to be playable, I think they would have had to up the stat line to something like 10/10, which would have just been insane, but I can't see this being played. It just seems too slow. Yeah, you can taunt it up, but Big Game Hunter can also kill it. It just seems like a bad card. I don't really have much else to say about it. Alright. Excavated Evil, 5 mana with Pre-Spell. Deal 3 damage to all minions. Shuffle this card into your opponent's deck. Okay, this kind of goes back to what I was saying earlier about that one Priest card in Tomb. Well, I was kind of mentioning, like, I could maybe see that being useful in some kind of Fatigue Priest deck. I could also see this being useful in a Fatigue Priest deck. I mean, it's another AoE for Priest, so they got Holy Nova, they got Light Bomb, and now they have Excavated Evil. I mean, this card isn't, it's not a joke. Like, dealing 3 damage to all minions, that could clear the board in a lot of cases. And then also, you're giving this card to your opponent. Well, you're shuffling out their deck at least, so you're going to give them like a garbage draw later they just don't want. It's going to be really annoying if they're like an aggressive deck. I mean, so yeah, if there's like some kind of Fatigue Priest out there, they're going to be running 2 of this card easily, along with Light Bombs and probably Holy Novas too. I think this card has a pretty decent amount of potential here. And then if the unfortunate person you're playing against is silly enough to play this once they draw it themselves, you get it back, you get more board clears. Yeah, this I like this card. I like it just because I kind of like more millish, fatigue-ish type of decks. I might have to try to craft some fatigue priest deck after this expansion comes out and see how that goes. Yeah, I really like this card. I think it has potential. Definitely not going to be running your average run-of-the-mill priest deck, but it's got potential to be run for sure. Alright, next card. Hunter card, 2 mana spell, Explorer's Hat. Give a minion +1/+1 and Death Rattle, add an Explorer's Hat to your hand. Oh yeah, so this is kind of like Dreadsteed for hunters, except it's garbage. Like, this is ridiculous. Yeah, this just seems so stupid. +1/+1 for 2 mana, and then you get this card. Yeah, okay, I'm done. I'm not gonna talk about that. That's garbage. Alright, next card. Warrior card, and it's a beast. Interesting. Haven't seen that before. Okay, 3 mana, 3/4 with Taunt, Fierce Monkey, and it's a common. So, as many others have said, this is great for Arena. Because Warriors are actually going to get a decent fucking card for Arena. Holy shit, wow. Amazing. Yeah, so... seems like it's just a solid card. 3/4 with Taunt for 3 mana. Can't really complain about that. I mean, I guess this is kind of geared towards maybe making some kind of bolster deck work, but at the same time, I don't know. Bolster deck just seems pretty far-fetched. It's just like a niche thing, kind of like how Hobgoblin decks are really underwhelming. Yeah, bolster, I think would kind of fall in that same category of just not quite overwhelming enough to actually be viable. So, but I mean, this card though, 3 mana, 3/4. I can definitely see some warrior decks running this. I mean, control warrior. I don't know if you'd be able to fit this in, but the revived Grim Patron warrior that's been around. Maybe. I don't know. It's definitely going to be an awesome arena card, but constructed, it might not be good enough. It's still a good card, though. Definitely. Alright, next card. A Mage Minion. Ethereal Conjurer. 5 mana, 6/3. Battle Cry, discover a spell. So basically, you can only... since it's a mage card, you can only discover a mage spell. So you're paying 5 mana for a 6/3 body. So it's like Hemet stats. So it's garbage stats. And then you're discovering a spell. So, I mean, if you're playing this, what are you trying to discover? You're probably going to try to discover something you're already running in your deck 2 of. Whatever deck you're playing. I mean, if you're trying to discover something that's not in your deck, you should probably just put that card in your deck. I mean, this card just seems like total garbage. Yeah, can't really say much else about it. It's just bad. Alright, got a Shaman card. Ooh, another Murloc team going here. 7 mana. Every Fin is awesome. Give your minions +2/+2. Cost 1 less for each Murloc you control. Okay, so they're kind of trying to push this Murloc thing here a bit, for sure. So, +2/+2 for 7 mana to all your minions. This is kind of a win more card, kind of like Bloodlust, really. But, yeah, I don't know. It's just that, like, there hasn't been any successful Murloc Shaman decks yet, so it's hard to judge this card. Especially with some of the other cards that I'm going to talk about. It seems like Murloc Shaman may possibly be able to take off, but I still kind of doubt it. Yeah, I don't know. Seems like a solid card, but it seems like a win more card. And you're obviously going to want this in some kind of Murloc themed deck. So, I don't know. I just don't see this like overtaking the place of Bloodlust basically at this point. Yeah, can't really say much about it. Don't really know what to make of it yet. Alright, next card. Got the Gorilla Bot 83. 4 mana 3/4 mech, neutral minion. Battle cry, if you control a mech, discover a mech. Okay. So this is definitely something you would put in a mech themed deck. So a 3/4 for 4 mana. I guess the big thing is like this isn't better than Piloted Shredder. Like I would run Piloted Shredder over this every day of the week. So that's a problem. Another problem is you have to already have a mech on the board when you play this in order for the battle cry to even work. I mean, if you play a 4 mana 3/4 mech, that's just not good enough. And then there's the RNG factor of, you know, you kind of have to hope you get a decent mech out of this. Just seems like it's going to be too inconsistent to see any play. Like, even in the mech mage decks, I can't see it. This isn't going to replace Piloted Shredder. Like, what would this replace? I don't know. I don't think it's going to replace anything. It's a solid card, but just not good enough. Next, Fossilized Devilsaur. Battlecry. If you control a beast, gain taunt. Yeah, so it's a neutral, but it's basically a worse Ironbark Protector, obviously. So yeah, I don't know what kind of deck you would ever try to play this thing in. I mean, maybe they're trying to push more for some control-ish hunter type of deck. I do actually play Control Hunter, and I would not put this in my deck. Mostly because I hardly run any beasts in that deck to begin with. So yeah, it just seems like a garbage card. There's a lot better 8 mana options I'd put in there. Ragnaros is much better than that, for instance. Anyways, moving on. Alright, Mage Secret, 3 mana, Forgotten Torch. Not Secret, sorry. Mage Spell. Okay, Forgotten Torch, deal 3 damage, shuffle a Roaring Torch in your deck that deals 6 damage. Okay, and from what I've heard, the Roaring Torch is also a 3 mana card, so it'd be a 3 mana card that deals 6 damage. So yeah, this seems like a ridiculously good card. So I do run Freeze Mage here and there, and I definitely plan on putting this in my Freeze Mage deck. I'm not sure what I'm going to replace for it, what I'm going to take out of the deck for it yet, but I'm going to take something out and put this card in because this card looks ridiculous. So basically, you're getting a Frostbolt for an extra mana, basically, and then later on in the game, you can draw into basically a Fireball that costs 1 less mana than a Fireball. It just seems nuts. Like I don't know. Maybe I'm not seeing the whole picture, but I don't know why this card is in print. This seems ridiculous. Like I don't think Mage needed this. Mage is fine where it is, but whatever. Alright, next card. Got a 2 mana 1/1 Beast, Jeweled Scarab. Battlecry, discover a 3-cost card. Just seems too slow. I mean, yeah, it seems kind of cool. Like, you play this, then you discover a card that you can play the next turn if you play this on turn 2. But it's a 1/1. That's like, yeah, it's like playing a dude. Like a paladin hero power. It's just not good enough. Yeah, I just don't see this really working out. Yeah, I don't really know what to say about it. It just seems too slow. If the stats were a little better, it would be a really good card, but I mean, shit, 2 mana 2/2 with this effect would almost be playable, but a 1/1, that's just terrible, terrible stats. Can't be played. Alright, next card. Huge Toad. 2 mana 3/2 beast. Death Rattle, deal 1 damage to a random enemy. So yeah, that's some pretty serious power creep, considering that Bloodfin Raptor is a 2 mana 3/2 beast with no text on it, and this one actually deals a damage when it dies. So yeah, seems like a pretty solid card. Really good. I could see this making some constructed decks. I mean, Flame Juggler's in some constructed decks. Fairly similar to this card. Only difference is that this one's a beast and the attack and health are swapped, but yeah, it's not bad. I could definitely, yeah, I'm gonna have to mess around with this card. I'll probably put it in like a face hunterish type of deck. See how it plays out. Seems pretty good though. Yeah, really good card. I'll take it. Alright, next card, Paladin card. 4 mana, Keeper of Uldaman. 3/4. Battle cry set mins attack and health to 3. So it's a very interesting one. So I mean, like, what's cool about it is, like, you could just set one of your dudes attack and health to 3, and like, so you could basically give like one of your dudes a 2/2 buff. That's really strong. And this, you know, for the 4 mana 3/4 stats, is not bad at all. And then, you know, if it's late game and they play something big, you could just reduce its attack and health to 3. Oh yeah, it's interesting, but Paladin has a lot of very good 4-cost cards already. So mainly because of that, I don't really see this seeing any kind of significant play. Really good arena card though, for sure, but I don't see it making the cutting constructed. Moving on. Alright. We got the 0 mana 1/1 Murloc Tiny Fin. Another case of power creep, because apparently Wisp is just horrible. Like, yeah. I mean, the Murlocs, if you look at the Murloc cards, you can tell that having that Murloc tag usually means a pretty big hit is taken to the stat line. But no, this is just right on par with Wisp with the Murloc tag and the same mana, so that happened. I guess it's a small nerf to, whatchamacallit. Sorry, it's a small nerf to Murloc Knight, the 4 mana Paladin card, because now you can get this out of it when you use your hero power, which is basically like getting a Grimscale Oracle. It's like the worst one you can get. So yeah, I guess a small nerf to that, but I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if, I mean, I have a feeling there's definitely going to be some Murloc decks making an appearance right after this expansion, and I expect to see this card in them. It's a Murloc. The Murloc buffs get pretty ridiculous once you get a ton of Murlocs on the field. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Really don't have much to say about it. I expect to see this tiny little guy around, though. At least for the first little bit after the expansion. Okay, next card. 3 mana 3/2, Druid card, Mounted Raptor. Death Rattle, summon a random 1-cost minion. It's also a beast. Okay, so this is basically like a mini piloted shredder. This is a pretty goddamn good card. Yeah. Yeah, I could see Druids running this and Piloted Shredder now. Like, what they're going to take out for this, I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure this is gonna make the cut. This is solid. You want sticky stuff around for your bullshit combo you're gonna use on turn 9. And yeah, this just kind of helps the cause. Great card. I don't really think Druid needed that, but whatever, they got it. Alright, another Druid card. 4 mana, 4/4, Jungle Moonkin. Both players have spell damage +2. It's a beast. I don't know. I don't think this is going to see much play. Just because it's usually a bad idea to give your opponent a benefit as well on your cards. I mean, Druid does benefit greatly from spell damage. I mean, Swipe, for instance, like that. Swipe becomes a lot more potent with spell damage around, but it's always a risk giving your opponent something. Like, so you play this card, and your opponent also has +2 spell damage. So if they're a Druid, they're going to be able to take advantage of that pretty easily. I mean, shit. Well, think about this, like, what if you're a Paladin, and what if you already had board control and you play this turn forward, and then they just consecrate? Like, they're going to kill this, and they're probably going to kill whatever else you have on the board. Yeah, this card just seems stupid. Yeah, the more I'm thinking about, the stupider it seems. Let's get out of here. Alright, next card, Priest card. 2 mana, 1/2, Museum Curator. Battlecry, discover a death rattle card. Okay. And like, are you really gonna want to play a 1/2 on turn 2? No. You wouldn't want to do that, obviously. And you basically are hoping you get a really good death rattle card. I'm not one to hope too much, so I'm just gonna skip this and say the card's bad. It's not gonna see any play. Alright, next card. It's a Druid spell. Raven Idol, 1 mana. Choose one. Discover a minion or discover a spell. This card seems awesome. Like, 1 mana, that's mostly why I think it's so good. Like, I mean, let's say you have this turn 1. It's like, alright, I'll play Raven Idol and I'll get a minion or get a spell, whatever I want. I mean, I'd probably get a minion most of the time on turn 1, but damn, like, that's pretty good. I mean, basically the hope is you have this for turn 1 to play. You play a turn 1, and you can basically kind of smooth out your curve, or, you know, maybe sometimes you'll get like a really good spell out of it. It seems really good, but at the same time, like, what would you want to replace for this card in your Druid deck? Maybe, what's it called? Living Roots? Because quite a few Druid decks are running that. I'm sure there's definitely going to be some Druids that, like, try to make that change and see how it works. But this seems like a really good card. I don't know. I don't really know how it's going to work out, but it seems good. Yeah. I don't know. We'll see how that one works out. Yeah, I'm probably definitely going to be messing around with it, though. It looks like a pretty fun card, too. Alright, next card. Warlock card. 1 mana, 1/1. Reliquary Seeker. Battlecry. If you have 6 other minions, gain +4/+4. Yeah, sounds like garbage. If you have 6 other minions on the board, you're usually winning the game anyways. I mean, it's Warlock, though. So I guess if you get off a nice implosion or something when you already have a bit of a board, I'm not going to say it's impossible to get this buff off. It's a bit unlikely, but yeah, you can get it off, and when you do, it's going to be a 5/5 for 1 mana. It's pretty sweet, but I mean, even then, it's not going to guarantee you win the game or anything. I don't know. Yeah, it seems like there's just better cards to have in your deck than this one. Alright, next card, Warrior card. Obsidian Destroyer, 7 mana, 7/7. At the end of your turn, summon a 1/1 Scarab with Taunt. Okay, so you get a 1/1 with Taunt. at the end of your turn. So I guess my big question is, why is this a common card? Because Huffer, a 6 mana 4/4 that summons a 2/2 taunt at the end of its turn, is a legendary card. So it just kind of confuses me. But it might have something to do with everyone, well, not everyone, but a lot of people bitching about how warriors are just useless in Arena. So they might be giving some really nice common cards here. But yeah, it seems like a really good card. Like I don't really play with Control Warrior myself, but I don't know, maybe this can make some Control Warrior decks. I don't know if it could, maybe. Yeah, it seems really strong. Yeah, if you make it turn 7, that's really going to start to slow aggro down, that's for sure. Yeah, really good card. I don't know. Not sure how it's going to fare in Constructed, but yeah. Definitely going to be a top pick in Arena. Yeah. This probably isn't enough to get Warriors back into the Arena metagame, but it definitely helps them. Next card. 5 mana 5/5 Naga Sea Witch. Your cards cost 5. This is a very interesting card. So I'm kind of catching on to a theme where, yeah, I guess it's the 5 and 6 mana slots, where that's where Blizzard likes to put their cards with some very interesting effects, like Loatheb for 5 mana 5/5. For 6 mana you got Thorson. Basically, it seems like those are the mana slots with the cards that you play that your opponent needs to kill those, because very bad things could happen. So, like this card, you drop this. I mean, what's to stop if you leave this on the board, what's to stop your opponent from playing an Alexstrasza the next turn and then punching you in the face with this for 5 and getting you down to 10 health? Like, that's pretty serious. Like, this card, it just seems like something that has to be killed. I'm very interested to see what kind of decks are going to come out of this card being on the game. I'm sure there's going to be several that people try, several different types, several different heroes. But yeah, I guess I'll be very curious to see what sticks around. I am almost positive there's going to be at least one deck that sticks around where this is a prominent minion in. So we'll see. Alright, next card. Pit Snake. 1 mana 2/1. Destroy any minion damaged by this minion. So it has like the poison effects. So, oh yeah, it's a rogue card. So it's like a cheaper Emperor Cobra, basically. It's garbage. 1 health. I mean, just think about it. Patient Assassin doesn't really see any play, and that has stealth. So yeah, this seems terrible. It's a beast. And you're given a lot of different classes beasts with this expansion. It's kind of interesting, but yeah, it doesn't look like rogues can really benefit from that. So yeah. Alright, next card. Good old Reno Jackson. Legendary, 6 mana 4/6. Battle Cry. If your deck contains no more than one of any card, fully heal your hero. Okay. So what decks out there have many different types of cards, like that don't double up on cards? Not many. Most decks have quite a few cards they double up on for obvious reasons. So in Constructed, this seems pretty lackluster. In Arena, this seems like a top pick because a lot of Arena decks don't have too many duplicates of cards. So yeah, it turns out if you have this in your hand, you play it, you're probably going to restore yourself to full health, and you're really going to piss off your opponent in some cases. So it seems pretty funny. So yeah. Seems like a pretty high end arena card. If you get a legendary and you see this, you're probably going to pick this about 7 times out of 8. This is a pretty good one. Constructed, it's basically a 6 mana 4/6. Unless, no, I'm thinking about it more now. I mean, if you're playing one of those decks where you try to fatigue your opponent, there could be situations where you end up holding on to this for most of the game, but I think the problem with most of those fatigue decks is they need earlier answers, and this isn't an early answer, especially if you're trying to hold on to it to the end of the game. So, yeah, this is not going to see any constructed play. No serious constructed play. Alright, Rumbling Elemental. 4 mana 2/6. After you play a Battle Cry minion, deal 2 damage to a random enemy. Okay. Shaman card. So, like, what relevant shaman cards have battle cries? I mean, I say relevant shamans, like shamans even exist right now in the game. They really don't in Constructed. So there's Tuskar Totemic. I'm thinking of like Totem Shaman right now. Tuskar Totemic definitely has a relevant battle cry. Fire Elemental obviously is in there. I mean, this could almost be thought of like a Flame Waker. I mean, yeah, kind of similar stat line. Costs 1 mana more, has +2 health, and then it just deals 2 damage to a random. Yeah, it's kind of similar to Flame Waker, but you do want battle cries. I mean, how many minions in a shaman deck, a typical shaman deck, have battle cries? I don't think it's that many. Like, I'm thinking of Tuskar Totemic and Fire Elemental. Fire Elemental is 6 mana though too. But then again, there's a good chance this will actually stay on the board for a turn or two. What else? Jeez. There's quite a few with Death Rattles, the Spiders. Yeah, I don't know. I think in order for this to be a good card, there probably have to be a new type of shaman deck that comes out to utilize it fully. Because I don't think shaman decks really have enough battle cries to make good use of this right now. It'd basically be a 4 mana 2/6 in a lot of cases, and that's it. Yeah, I don't know. See what happens. I'm sure I will mess around with this card myself, since I used to play a lot of Shaman. Shaman's just too garbage right now to play, unfortunately. Okay. We got Sir Finley Murgleton. Oh yeah. 1 mana legendary. I believe that's the first 1 mana legendary. Okay, it's a Murloc 1/3. Battlecry. Discover new basic hero power. So yeah, it seems like this is kind of where they're trying to encourage classes like shamans and things like that to play Murloc decks, because Shaman hero power, it turns out, is not good for Murloc decks, even though Blizzard has printed several Shaman Murloc cards already. So yeah, if you're able to play this turn 1 and get something like a Warlock hero power, Paladin hero power is fine, Hunter 1 would probably be okay in a Murloc deck. Basically any hero power, but yeah, I guess you wouldn't want a Warrior so much, but almost any other hero power except Shamans, yeah. Yeah, I think this is going to be included in every single Murloc Shaman deck. And if some other classes try out Murloc decks, they may try this card out too. I mean, it has some flexibility too. Like, you could play this later in the game. I mean, say you're a mage or something. You could play this later in the game and hope you get a Hunter hero power to so you can try to finish off your opponent in 2 turns. It's got a lot of possibilities. Interesting card for sure. I like it. Let's fucking go. Alright, next card. It's 5 mana, 0/6 Summoning Stone. Whenever you cast a spell, summon a random minion of the same cost. So this is kind of like there's that Tavern Brawl where whenever you cast a spell, you summon a minion of the same cost as that spell. So this is basically the card form of that. It seems pretty horrible. 5 mana for a 0/6. So basically you're going to play this on 5, and then it's probably going to stay on the board because of a joke. I wouldn't even bother killing that. I'd be like, whatever, dude. Oh yeah, you played your 5 mana 0/6, I'm pretty scared. So you're going to play this on 5, then what are you going to do? Just play a bunch of spells? Like, what the hell? This is weird. I don't know. Like, what are you gonna do if you're a mage? You're just gonna play like 2 arcane missiles, 2 frost bolts, and just pray that like minions that come out are garbage. It seems so stupid. I don't know. I predict this C0 play. It is a bad card. Alright. Next card. Let's make sure we're doing alright here. And we are. Sacred Trial, Paladin Secret, 1 mana, of course. When your opponent has at least 3 minions and plays another, destroy it. So yeah, this is awesome because Secret Paladin didn't need any. Secret Paladin is so underwhelming right now. They needed a little more help, basically. So let's give them one of the best secrets in the game. Like, not even. Yeah, this is. Oh my goodness! Like, this is ridiculous. I mean, this is like, this almost seems like it should be a mage secret. This seems so powerful. Mage secrets cost 3 mana. This costs 1 mana. Like, jeez, dude. It's like, oh, I'm behind against a secret paladin, and you just played Mysterious Challenger. It's, oh, let me try to build my board. Oh, okay, my shit's dying. This is so ridiculous. Like, This kind of shit just makes me angry. It's like, what are you doing? Like, who fucking thought of this idea? Is there just some fucking troll working at Blizzard, just like, fucking, yeah, going on his lunch breaks, just fucking, I don't know, fucking slashing people's tires, laughing at people. Then he goes into fucking meetings, like, just trying to sell people on this card and why, like, Paladin needs this. Like, what the fuck is going on? How does this happen? Okay, so anyways, yeah, I digress a little bit. This is gonna be in every single fucking Mysterious Challenger Paladin deck, 2 of these. I'm not sure what they're gonna replace. I don't play Mysterious Challenger Paladin because I think the deck's a fucking joke. I kind of just refuse to play it. It's very good and it's very stupid. It's just overpowered. So. Alright, yeah, this is very fucking good. It's pretty obvious it is. So yeah, if you play Secret at Paladin, fucking throw this in too, bro. Fuck it, dude. Jesus Christ, dude, what the fuck? Okay. Moving on. Road card, 2 Pillager, 4 mana, 5/4, Death Rattle, coin in your hand. Alright. Seems solid. I think Rogue's about as well represented as Shaman right now on ladder, though, and I don't think this is going to put them back in the game, really. Yeah, I mean, it's a good card, but yeah, just not good enough. Yeah. I don't know. Don't have much to say about it. Good card, not good enough. Oh, jeez. Oh, did that exit? Oh, no. Alright, 1 second, let me get back to where I was. Man, that Paladin Secret, that is so ridiculous. Why would you print that card? Like, in what universe are you living in where you think Paladin needs that? Oh, Paladin's very underpowered right now. We need to give them this secret. That'll really turn the tables. Derp, 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 derp. Good lord. Oh, come on. That sucks. Okay, we're almost there, I think. Okay, good. So, just talked about. Alright, cool. Here we are. Next card 4 mana 3/3 Beast, Tomb Spider. Battle cry, discover a beast. Yeah, it looks like seems like a solid card. Definitely a decent arena card. Just too slow for constructed. Yeah, I don't really have much to say about it. It's not a flashy card or anything. Yeah, I'm just gonna move on. Alright, next card. A rogue card, 3 mana 3/4, Unearthed Raptor. Battlecry, choose a friendly minion, gain a copy of its Death Rattle effect. Okay, now we're talking. This is some good stuff. Okay, 3 mana 3/4 stat line. It's obviously very good. That's like, I think it's the universally agreed upon amazing 3 mana stat line. And then it has this nice effect too. So, yeah, like, I mean, there might be some new rogue decks coming out because of something like this. Like, I could see Nerubian Egg being involved in these. 2 mana, play Nerubian Egg. Turn 2, play Nerubian Egg. Turn 3, play this. Get the Nerubian Egg, Death Rattle. So you can summon a 4/4 Nerubian when this dies. Yeah, that seems pretty good. Yeah, this card definitely has potential. I don't think there's really any decks out there right now that you could like just slide this into and have it go, but I definitely see people making some of these decks to try this guy out, and they might work. Yeah, there are a lot of good Death Rattle minions out there, and this card complements them pretty well, I think, so it's going to be pretty interesting. Alright, next card, 6 mana 2/6, Wobbling Runts. Death Rattle, summon 3/2, 2 runs. Okay. Card seems too slow. 6 mana for a 2/6. I mean, yeah, it's got a really good Death Rattle, but I mean, compared to like Savannah High main, 6 mana 6/5, and you summon 2 2/2s. Yeah, I think Savannah High main is a lot better. Plus, I mean, like, what kind of deck? Like, what are you hoping to play against this? If you're playing any kind of fast, aggressive decks, they're just gonna ignore this and go face. Yeah, it seems too slow to be any good. I mean, they probably could have made this 5 mana and it probably still wouldn't see play. It's just too slow. Yeah, I guess I don't really have much else to say about it. Alright, next card. Shaman card, 1 mana 1/3, Tunnel Trog. Whenever you overload, gain +1 attack per lock mana crystal. Very interesting. I haven't really seen this mechanic introduced yet, like gaining an attack per mana crystal overloaded. 1/3 for 1 mana is good stat line. So, I mean, what are you trying to do with this? Like, turn 1 you play this, turn 2 you play Ancestral Knowledge and draw 2 cards, overload yourself with 2, then this is a 3/3. I mean, I guess it's a solid turn 1, turn 2, but at the same time, like, I don't know, it doesn't seem that good, because then turn 3 you're overloaded for 2 and you're screwed. Like, it's just, overload is just like so devastating for Shaman. That's the huge problem with the class, just overload, just not as good as it could. I won't even say could be, like, just the price you have to pay to get overload is just so steep. Like, it's not worth it. Like, you're basically borrowing mana from your next turn, and it just isn't worth doing so. It never has been. I mean, when I do play Shaman decks, I barely use any overload cards because they screw you over so much. Like, you really have to make your deck around the ones you do use, like what's the 2-mana 3/4, the Totem Golem, like that. Like my Shaman deck, I run more. I try to minimize my 3 drops and I run extra 2 drops just so I can make sure I have something to do on turn 3 if I play Totem Golem. I mean, Overload really screws you over. And I don't think getting +1 attack per Overload crystal is really going to help you a whole lot. Cool concept, but it's just not cool enough, not good enough. But yeah. Yeah, and that's it. So, hell yeah. What's today? So, yep, 3 more days. This fine expansion will be out. And I will be getting assy with it. And unfortunately, I'll be doing so on this piece of shit laptop because my computer's fucked up. So, yeah, enjoy. Anyways, take it easy, guys, and peace out.